Hey everybody, I'm Arglefump, the Nancy Drew dude. This is my speedrun for Puzzle Agent 2. Let's get started in 3. Well, I am a puzzle genius. Okay, never mind. I need to delete one of my games so I can do the speedrun. Sorry about that. Okay, now let's get started with the speedrun in 3, 2, 1, awesome! I should have deleted the save file where I was a sad, lonely, bad puzzle solver. I should have done that. Sorry about that. In any case, it takes about 40 to 45 minutes to get through this game in a speedrun. So let's aim for under 45 minutes. That was my estimate when I did my practice run earlier today. Okay. So let's see, this thing goes here, this thing there. Solved! Nice! Basically, you want to spin the 2 inner rings so they are in place, and you're done. So you'll notice there are 4 things that appear whenever you solve a puzzle. So, I guess number 1 is how many times you tried the puzzle. Number 2, how many hints you used. Number 3, what your grade is. So I'm hopefully going to get a 10 out of 10 perfect grade every single time. And then number 4 is the OK button, which lets you just move on to the next screen. Basically, okay, I know I'm fantastic, let me move on. Alright. So, what I'm going to do when I solve every puzzle, this puzzle's answer is 3, by the way. 3. Just type that on your keyboard, that's great. But you're supposed to watch these things appear on the screen every single time, these 4 things. But you can click to make them appear. So that goes a little bit faster. You do have to wait to see for that stamp, though. So that stamp, there's no way to skip that. But that gives you a little bit of time. You can move your mouse over to where the OK button appears. That way you can click the OK button as soon as it appears. And that's great. Oh, okay. So you'll notice characters talk in this game, and when characters talk, you can skip their conversation by clicking. But the characters are not talking, like here, then there's no way to skip it, you just sit back and wait. Now most scenes, characters talk and they might pause for a bit and then continue talking. Like this, he's gonna talk for a while, then he looks around, and talk again. So, better safe than sorry, I'm gonna just try clicking more often than necessary just to cut off conversations, because I don't have the conversation timings memorized. That would be way too much work. So we go inside the inn, we talk to Miss Garrett, and she gives us a puzzle. There she is. Hello, Mrs. Garrett.
Good evening.
So we've got a list of things, we've got a list of conversations we can talk to her from. You want to pick the one with the puzzle piece on it, which is just like we had earlier with our buddy at the FBI. So the solution to this puzzle is the women at the bottom and the men at the top. Nelson is at the bottom with the 2 women, so it's easy enough. These first few conversations are pretty easy in that, you know, there's lots of things we can talk about, but what you really need to do is just click the conversation with the puzzle and then you leave. That's all. That's all. Pretty simple. Not too long from now, we are going to get more complicated conversations where you can't just leave. I'll mention that when we get there. But first, oh my gosh, there's crazy noises coming from behind the fence.
Just heard something.
We need to
I'm going to.
we need to investigate. So I actually need to click on the fence in order to investigate. And then this is going to be a big scene that I can't skip. So back to conversations. When is my next conversation? I've got all the notes for how to beat the game earlier today. I mean, I played through the game earlier today. I wrote out notes on how to beat the game. I figured out the best possible route. Or at least what I think is the best possible route.
Oh,
and I've got it. Whoops. I was too busy talking. I need to pay attention to the game. Sorry. Anyway, I've got the route written out here in front of me, how to solve puzzles, the order to solve the puzzles in, that sort of thing. So hopefully it will help me get through. There's some puzzles which are not easily described. You know, I can't just like look down and see an easy solution. Mostly those slider puzzles. Those are tough ones. Those are tough to describe in a few words. This is going to be another scene. He's going to have a nightmare of an astronaut, and somebody leaves a piece of paper in his bedroom. So this piece of paper is a puzzle, but I can't solve this puzzle yet. I cannot solve the puzzle until I get inside the sheriff's office and look at the sheriff's files. So, what you're supposed to do is try to solve the puzzle, and then the game kicks you out. What I'm going to do is click on the quit button, so that will kick me out of the puzzle before the game does it. You know, I'm kicking myself out of the puzzle before the game kicks me out of the puzzle. Saves me about a couple seconds, I'd say. And we find a piece of paper that says Isaac Davner does not exist. I'm kind of here to try to find Isaac Davner. He was kidnapped at the end of the last game. At the end of the last game, I need to figure... the mystery in the last game was to figure out what happened to Isaac Davner and to fix the eraser factory. I fixed the eraser factory, but not Isaac Davner. He was kidnapped almost immediately after I found him. Hi, skier guy! He's my only friend. So I came back to solve the mystery of what exactly happened to Mr. Isaac Davner. And of course there are other things, other mysteries left unsolved, like the creepy living garden gnomes that live in this town. Very strange. Okay, this puzzle solution is 22-2-8-6-24. 22. Oh, come on. Ah. Okay, there we go. Minor mess up with the puzzle there, but not too bad. Didn't waste that much time. This guy, Daryl, he's got a friend who's missing. We're not actually going to try to find his friend. I guess because I'm a terrible FBI agent. Yeah, but I am going to look into another missing person. We're going to talk to this guy about missing persons in just a moment. So we're going to go to the campgrounds, talk to the professor person. So with this conversation, there is no puzzle. We've got like 4 or so things that I can talk to him about. I need to talk to him about his missing friend, and I need to talk to him about Isaac Davner, the other missing person. I don't need to talk to him about the other things. So, I just try to be careful here and not click on any of the other items that I don't need to talk about. And you'll notice that missing friend is not crossed off my list. I can talk to him about the missing friend multiple times. However, I don't need to. I only need to talk about the missing friend once. So, talk about missing friend once and Isaac Davner. That makes the goodbye thing appear at the bottom of the conversation. That lets me get through the conversation as quickly as possible. So, like I said, different from the other conversations we've had so far, where all the other conversations we had so far, you just click on the puzzle piece and then that's it, you're done. You solve the puzzle, end of conversation. These conversations, you you talk about something until the goodbye button appears, and then you leave the puzzle. Or, then you leave the conversation, sorry, not puzzle. So I went to the sheriff's office. It is closed. There's a note saying he's at the Moosier Diner, so we're going to the Moosier Diner. So this is actually going to be a fun conversation. Strange conversations here at the Moosier Diner. I need to talk to the sheriff. I don't actually need to talk to him about anything. The game just checks to make sure that I have introduced myself to the sheriff and know who the sheriff is. I guess the game just assumes that we were going to talk to the sheriff about everything. It doesn't actually check to make sure you've done anything. So you talk to the sheriff and then immediately say goodbye. Fastest way through that conversation, and the waitress talks to you. She is Glory Davner. She is the wife of Isaac. And we talk to her about everything exactly once. So there are multiple things, like the previous conversation where you could talk to her about something multiple times. And even if something is crossed off the conversation list, you can still talk to her about it. So just be careful you don't, like, click on the same thing twice. And And it's especially confusing because some things, like I said, some things don't get crossed off the list. Okay, that gives us a goodbye. And now I go to the sheriff's station. This is going to give me, I'm breaking into the sheriff's station. She basically promised she'll distract the sheriff so I can break into the sheriff's office and find his missing persons files, including the files on her husband, Isaac. I'm not actually going to do much about her husband, Isaac, at this point. I'm basically finding the missing persons file so I can solve that astronaut puzzle that was slipped under my door. Yeah. Simple enough puzzle. Oh wait, there are 2 puzzles on the door. Oh boy, 2 puzzles on the door. So the middle top piece goes right down twice. The easy chair up. Oh, not 2 puzzles with the door. Okay, so this piece goes right down twice. That easy chair moves out of the way. The controls for these puzzles are not the greatest. I don't know if it's just my computer. It's probably just my computer. But we'll see with the other slider puzzles in this game that I'm just not very good with the slider puzzles and controlling the pieces in the slider puzzles, and so that will slow me down a bit unnecessarily. I'm guessing that's going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen, but it probably will. Okay, so the sheriff caught me, but he's going to let me investigate anyway. Okay. I think it's Haldor, Will, and then Ted, and then the other 3 go in order from top to bottom. That's how I memorize that puzzle. I'm sure there might be a yeah, there probably is a faster way to memorize it. Maybe numbers, if you're good with numbers. You just go like 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 4 to 5. Oh, need to click on his snowmobile to leave this area. Don't click on the door to leave. Okay, so basically solving that puzzle got me this woman's address. She's the person who dressed up like an astronaut. No idea why she dressed up like an astronaut, but she's the one who left me that note. It's basically a test to see if I was good enough to solve the puzzles, and I am good enough to solve the puzzles, so she's going to help me solve the mystery, and Agent Tethers is in love with her. Alright, so I talked to her about Isaac Davner here, which is going to give a scene.
Can I...
You mentioned... Are you the...
Forgive... I knew you...
What does...
She says, finally, you're asking the right questions there, which is funny, because it's the first question I asked. Minor scene... She's gonna come right back, right? Okay, that gives me a conversation about the lodge. She reveals that Ed Davis, see, that's Isaac Davner, he's actually Ed Davis, an astronaut. Okay, this gives me a conversation about the lodge, and now I'm gonna end this conversation with her. I don't need to talk to her about the other things.
I don't...
And she's going to give me a spot in the woods where one of the people disappeared.
I have my... What you want... Come back.
Fancy music. Okay, come on, let's go. Spot in the woods. Let me see. Did I explain how those conversations... Yeah, okay, so I've explained how the conversations work. Here's how I found out about those conversations. Basically, what I did was I saved the game, and then I reloaded the game from the save file, and I just did the conversations over and over and over again until I figured out the fastest way through them. Now, you'll notice this game autosaves. That's a thing which is going to appear in the upper left corner right about now. After I finished looking at footprints. Okay, not after. Okay. There. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a game save thing in the upper middle screen, and then a little save button on the upper left. So the game autosaves, but I'm playing this on a Windows computer, and if you play this game on a Windows computer, it creates a folder in your My Documents folder. It's a folder called Telltale Games, and that creates, and inside that folder are the saved games. Let me solve this puzzle, and I'll continue my thought. Done. Okay, so you have the folder in My Documents, which is called Telltale Games. That's where they keep the game's save files. So basically, I just copy pasted the folder, and that's how I was able to save and reload the game. Basically, I made a literal copy of the save file. Okay, so this guy is wandering around in the woods. He's going to get me lost. I'm just going to get totally lost here and accidentally stumble upon important information.
And I'll have...
Ding! I'm gonna have to click on the tree twice, actually. So Hermes the Second is, we're gonna see it's like a space shuttle. No!
I
found the dead body of an astronaut. It's creepy. I don't know what's gonna happen here, but I have a feeling he's gonna scream. Oh my gosh, it's the gnomes. Okay, so the evil gnome creatures... Yep, screaming. Knew it. So the evil gnome creatures, I guess they're not evil. I don't know. They're creepy and strange and evil, and they are related to lunacy and these astronauts. This game goes into more detail about this. Okay, so I talked to her about Edvard. I talked to her about the guy I chased, and I talked to her about the astronaut. I don't talk to her about the hidden people. That's the other name for the gnomes. If I talk to her about the gnomes, she thinks I'm crazy.
You don't... You're... Good night.
And I guess I just go home for tonight. Okay, cool. So the next day, I'm going to go to the lodge, follow up on Edvard and the members of the cult, the weird gnome cult, because they caused me problems in the previous game. But first I'm sending a tape, which will become important later. I like how the game skips, you know, like me going into bed and forcing me to leave the hotel, because there's no point in showing that. I'm glad it just... Hey, Scare Man, I'm glad the game just skips to the next day with me outside instead of making me wake up in my bedroom and go outside my bedroom. Although that could have been a great opportunity to slip in another puzzle, huh? Alright, here I am at the lodge. Here's Bjorn. He has been affected with lunacy, just like the guy in the woods.
Nelson!
So I need to shine the light of puzzles into his eyes. I think this puzzle's called Bjorn's Sanity. Yes, it is. I am 100% correct on that. Okay. Okay, these three things go here, and then these two go here. Light just bounces around these things, avoids all the green ones, and now Bjorn can talk again. Okay, so I talked to him about missing persons, and that's the end of the conversation. Well, it looks like one of the things I click to get through is actually when the game writes down the puzzle's title on that piece of paper too. Okay, so there are 5 things I click to get through? I don't know, 4. Let's go with 4.
Alright.
Okay, Bjorn claims he's innocent. We believe him. He's not actually kidnapping people. But he casually mentions one of the missing people. The first missing person was Olaf, who was studying stuff in the woods. So we're going to go to the woods. We're going to go to his cabin in the woods and solve puzzles there.
Bjorn's...
Excellent. Pretty straightforward here. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, we can't go back to the area in the woods with the astronaut. That was part of the scene we sort of skipped over. Nelson talks into his thing and says, you know what, I wouldn't be able to find it again, even in the daylight. It's just too impossible, I'm not even gonna try. And so we get a lot more gameplay, I guess.
Who?
Alright, this is basically just going to be a puzzle segment. Kind of cool.
The cat... Apparently... There's got... Olaf...
Puzzle's 20.
Olaf, that... Why was he...
Okay, he was studying lunar eclipses. Okay, left, right, left, left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left, right, left, done. I just wrote out that solution. Oh, yeah. Damn it, I've got all the solutions, like all the puzzles. I had to have mentioned that, right? I've been... Sorry, I'm, focused on this game, forgetting what I've talked about and what I haven't talked about. Anyway, I played through the game earlier today, came up with what I hope is the best route, and, let's see, the sun goes there so I can move this thingy here. Come on. Slider puzzle. Hurting me here. Okay, move the sun. No, sun goes there so I can move this thingy down. No, sun. Okay, now I move the sun into there. Gonna move the earth all the way up so I can slip the sun into place. Moon goes there. As I was saying, earlier today I just played through this game multiple times, trying to figure out what the best route is. I believe this is it. Maybe you can skip one of these puzzles, in which case I'm an idiot and, wasted time in my speedrun solving an optional puzzle. That would be sad. In any case, when you solve the 3 puzzles and you look at that puzzle there, you want to quit that puzzle. You can't solve it here the first time around. Just don't even try. Just don't even try. So, once you solve those 3 puzzles and quit that one puzzle, the game will automatically kick you out of that puzzle, I think, after enough time. So once that happens, the portrait moves away, giving you this thing, so we can hear what Olaf is working on. He was working on lunar eclipses and lunacy. He thinks he's discovered a cure for lunacy, which deals with eclipses.
What?
And for some reason, Nelson complains about having a headache there. Okay, now I go to Korka's house. And we're gonna have a scene with her. Did I interrupt myself again? I'm sorry if I've interrupted myself again. Well, I played through the game, I figured out what I hope is the correct solution, the fastest way to get through this game. And I've basically got my route and the puzzle solutions written down on this piece of paper in front of me. And by piece of paper, I mean I just took screenshots. I wrote it out all out in a word processing, that way I could have pictures of the solutions. And so I've got actual screenshots of some of the puzzle solutions. Other puzzles I didn't need to take a screenshot, like the puzzle where the solution was 22 or the puzzle where the solution is 3, you can easily just type in those numbers. I don't need a screenshot for that. Okay, so apparently she believes in Bigfoot and she's crazy, and Nelson decides, oh geez, well, so much for that. She cannot help me solve this puzzle.
Maybe. The only...
And then he realizes the only person in town who was helpful was that one scientist guy at the camp, so we're gonna go there. Alright, so we're gonna talk to him, and he's gonna give me a puzzle, and then he's going to discover something important. He's gonna put two of our two clues together. I don't think we have any conversation options. I think we just straight up talk to him, and then that's the puzzle. Alright, come on, Dr. Alfred. Oh, wait. Okay, he does have a puzzle. Okay, you need to select what the puzzle is.
If they're trying... Here.
Done. So that puzzle's one I had to focus on, because the puzzle pieces start in random locations. So, you know, if you're really lucky, most, like, 4 of the pieces will be in place and only one of them isn't in place, and so you only have to make 1 swap. I was not. I had to make, like, 3 or 4 swaps. Not so bad, but we've got a couple more puzzles like that, where the pieces just start in random locations, and so, you know, it's just pure random number generator, depending, determines how much work you have to do for the puzzle.
Must be.
And Alfred is going to be a total jerk here, and just walk away, abandoning me. What a jerk. Okay, so let's see. As I recall, the solution to this puzzle is this. Come on, come on. Slider puzzle being mean to me here, making me want to cry. Come on, move piece. There we go. I don't know if that was just touchscreen controls or my computer's awful. I don't know. In any case. I'm gonna skip this. And we're gonna have a long, creepy scene. With astronauts. Astronauts. Yes, astronauts. Actually, 2 of the astronauts. I believe the story is that these astronauts are suffering from lunacy, and it's very sad. Very, very sad. It's actually that device. That device is what's making them crazy, or I believe that's it. And they were on the spaceship Hermes II. And that was our friendly skier man's outfit. I hope he's okay. He was friendly. One of the few people in this game who's nice to me. Oh no! Yeah, I can't handle this. Okay, so this, let's talk about something else. This game does not have any jigsaw puzzles, unlike the previous game, so I think that makes this game easier to speedrun. Although those slider puzzles are just destroying me. Okay, so I found out that my buddy on the FBI, my buddy in the FBI just filed the tapes, and so the head of the FBI, Director Jennings, now knows what I've been doing. He knows what I've been up to. He knows I'm about to solve the mystery. And there's a big government cover-up. So he sends in a bunch of agents to investigate.
Director Jennings?
They'll take it from me.
But... if nothing...
There Nelson says that he needs to go all around the town and see if anyone is still going to be friends to him and nice to him. I think it's just the guy, it's just his scientist friend. I think that's the only person who's nice to him and still nice to him. I think the other characters refuse to talk to him, or they're getting too buddy-buddy with the FBI. so he doesn't know if he can trust them. I don't know if I can trust my scientist friend, though. He sort of abandoned me in the woods for no reason. What a jerk. Okay, and Nelson just shouted like an idiot in the face of the director of the FBI. Okay, so I'm gonna immediately leave this conversation here. It's funny how, just like the conversation with the sheriff, I don't need to do the conversation. I just need to talk and then quit immediately. So both conversations in the Moose Ear Diner, conversations you can skip.
They were
Alright, this is another puzzle where the pieces are randomized. If you want to change the order of where the pieces are, just hit the reset button. That works. That wasn't so bad. So, thanks to her, we can go back to that astronaut we saw in the woods. Not the two murderous astronauts who attacked me, just the one astronaut. Nelson decides it's time for the truth. And the truth is, it's an empty suit. It's been empty the whole time. So who does the suit belong to? It's Ed Davis, aka Isaac Davner, the missing man. He explains that he was on a top secret lunar mission to try to solve lunacy. And it crashed. It crashed. The two people, the two other astronauts went crazy. And gnomes came from the moon. Gnomes came from the moon. They can only come through the moon during lunar eclipses. Is sort of the idea. So, yeah. It's just a strange story. Okay. Strange story, but that's his story, and he is sticking to it. Done. I think that's it. I think that's correct. Good, that's it. There are multiple solutions to that puzzle. That's not the solution I found when I was playing the game on my own, if you've seen my video walkthrough, so I'm like, well, I don't know, that wasn't my solution, so I'm a little hesitant about it. So in any case, we need to destroy that device that's on the spaceship. That way, people stop going insane, and the gnomes can go back home, and it will be a happy ending for everyone, except for the people that have been murdered by the astronauts. I think they've been murdered by the astronauts. I hope they haven't been. Okay, here I click on the device. This is another puzzle where after you make like 2 moves, the game interrupts you. So, here we see the gnomes cannot get that close to the device, otherwise they would have done it themselves and gotten home a long time ago. So I quit this puzzle because I automatically get thrown out of the puzzle no matter what. So I kicked myself out of the puzzle, saving myself a couple seconds there. Don't know why Isaac wasn't able to try to disable the device. Well, he's not a puzzle master like me, number one. That's probably why he didn't do it. Number two, he's probably scared that he would be like his fellow astronauts who went insane. So here we're hearing some music. That little pipe music. That pipe music summons the gnomes, and that's the final clue that Nelson needs, I guess. Okay, here we want to get the bed in the upper left-hand corner. Come on, slider, puzzle, be nice to me, done. That was relatively okay. Could have been better. Could have been a lot worse, though. And I'm 33 minutes. Oh, good. I'm right where I should be, because we're coming up near the end of the game here.
Now.
So I go back here. I play the little flute music, which summons the gnomes, and then they're going to teach me the lunacy algorithm. So I need this knowledge in order to disable. In order to disable that evil device on the spaceship. Unfortunately, while I'm learning about it, solving puzzles. I was the only one smart enough, actually. I could handle the secret of the lunacy algorithm because I could solve the gnomes' puzzles. That's how information is transferred over to me, I presume. I think that's the reasoning behind this. I think that's the logic, is that, you know, I was able to solve the puzzles, nobody else was able to solve the puzzles, just me. Unfortunately, I'm going to be in a state of, like, puzzle lunatic state while I'm learning the solution to the lunacy algorithm. Kind of makes you wish that you could see what crazy things Nelson is up to while this is happening. Okay, 3 raccoons, 2 raccoons, 1 raccoon in the water. Done. That's how I solved that puzzle. 3 raccoons here, 2 raccoons there, 1 raccoon in the water there. It's another puzzle where the starting locations of the pieces are randomized. And wolves, we didn't really go into werewolves in this game, or wolves, really, in this game or the previous game. But we did go into people that were suffering from, like, the lunacy. That was why we were driving the light of sanity back into Bjorn. That's what was happening earlier. And his puzzle actually looked a lot like this, didn't it? Puzzle, let's go. Oh, I'm such a smiley guy.
Agent Evans, you're not allowed out.
And it sounds like I'm getting in trouble with my director. Okay, the director of the FBI doesn't like me anymore. Well, that's bad. Oh, jeez, this puzzle. Okay, this is a puzzle. Come on, okay. I think that's it. Could be wrong. Yeah, there we go. That looks good. Ah! Looks like you can hold down a button in order to make it work. I mean, in order to rotate it several times. Please let that be right, please let that be right. Yes, okay. Okay, now I click on Nelson for the lunacy algorithm. Okay, gosh. Done. That should be correct, too. Beautiful. Okay, only 3 more puzzles until the end of the game. Basically, Nelson wakes up here. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to quit my game here. Sorry. I'm having... Ah, guys, my game just closed on me because of those graphical issues. Please tell me that's not it. Okay, so where was I? Please tell me that the game will not have, like, this won't be a problem. I don't know. I really, really hope this won't be a problem. What happens if I start here? Great, okay.
The moon's...
Okay. Sorry about that. I didn't mean... I wasn't, like, shutting the game on purpose. I swear. I wasn't, like, trying to crash the game. You saw there was a big black box where the characters should be. Okay, this puzzle has multiple solutions. This is the one I found when I was playing the game on my own, and it's one shorter than the solution which is on Game FAQs, so I was like, haha, I'm such a puzzle master. I don't know if I really am a puzzle master, but we'll see. Because the next up is a puzzle that I can't, like, skip or beat, or... It's a random puzzle. It's a randomized puzzle. It changes every time, and this one actually does require... Okay, so, while I was under control, while I was basically being crazy, I ran here in my underwear and an oven mitt and caused problems, and I thought I solved the machine, but I did not. At least I got it open. At least I got it open. That's better than nothing? I don't know. Okay, final puzzle, right? No, not final puzzle, but almost final puzzle. What you want to do is click on the 4 things in the correct order. It's NASA, Moon, Formula, and then Hidden People, which is another name for gnomes. So, NASA, and now I'm running... Oh, I've got a sock on, too. Okay. Okay, Moon, Formula, no. And I have to do this 3 times. Like I said, this is randomized. So, Moon, Formula, Hidden People, done. One more puzzle after this, though. I tried to destroy the machine, but it didn't work. I realize it's impossible. It can never be destroyed, but then Bigfoot comes along. I imagine that woman just called Bigfoot and asked Bigfoot to show up and help us out. So Bigfoot did. Thanks, Bigfoot. So the machine is destroyed forever. Now nobody will suffer from lunacy in this town. Now the gnomes can go back home. Isaac Davner can live happily ever after with his wife. I can go back to my job happily ever after now that I've solved the mystery. And hopefully some of those missing people were returned. I hope they were returned. I hope they weren't dead. I fear that they were killed, though.
Welcome back!
Oh.
Okay, this final puzzle is 151. So I have no idea what my time for this speedrun is going to be at this point because of the whole, the
Don't
big
look so
black
disappointed,
box
Jim.
appearing
Ow.
on the screen and stuff.
Oh.
So just wait, we're almost at the end of the game. There we go. That's it. That was the end. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to I'm gonna go to the editing room and see how long the speedrun is, then I'll come right back and tell you how long it was, okay? Although I'm pretty sure I've got the speedrun time in the title of this video, so you probably already know how long the speedrun was. 41 minutes and 48 seconds. That's the official timing for the speedrun. Use scare quotes around the word official because I don't know how to handle those 3 to 5 seconds where the game crashed on me. Don't know, do I count the time that it took to load the game because I had to load the game after it crashed? Either way, about 41 minutes. So hey, pretty good score, pretty good time. I hope you enjoyed my speedrun. Thanks for watching, everybody.